Hey guys, it's Sarah. I'm back today with a video response that I promised to DougDropsTheWeight. He made a quick video asking people about 5 useful things in a number of situations, and so I'm going to try and make a quick video and answer those questions. I know LEKVSG 2012 made a video about this, and I thought hers was really good, so some of these things might be repeated, but the top 5 useful things that I brought to the hospital. My iPad, my iPhone, any kind of entertainment, it can be really boring depending on how long you're in the hospital. I had to wait all day just for my surgery. I got to the hospital at 7 and my surgery wasn't until about 3:30. So I had a long time that I needed to amuse myself. And although we had a TV, I preferred, watching YouTube videos on my iPad or reading a magazine or something like that. So definitely I would make sure that I bring something to pass the time because it can be really boring. Loose, comfy clothes. Hi, Dexter. Loose, comfy clothes are really important, depending on how long you're going to be in the hospital. I know different centers are different. For me in Mexico, I was actually in the hospital for 3 days, but I wanted to get out of that hospital gown as soon as I could. Basically, as soon as my IV was out, my drain was out, I was in regular clothes. Not even, actually, I think I changed as soon as my IV was out. I didn't even care about the drain. It's much more comfortable. Honestly, hospital gowns are not that comfy, so it's way more comfortable just to be in regular clothes, but you want to make sure they're big and loose because you can have a lot of swelling after surgery. I know my stomach was quite swollen after surgery, so you want to make sure that you bring clothes that are comfy and that are a size or two too big for you. Chapstick or moisturizer, really important. You do often get really dry lips after surgery, and also you can just get dry skin and that sort of thing. So if you normally are the kind of person who likes to use, hand moisturizer or moisturize your face, then I would bring moisturizer and definitely chapstick with you. Baby wipes. I know Mystery Spirited talked about this. They don't have to be baby wipes. They could be any kind of wipe, but because you may not be able to have a shower right away, it's nice to just kind of freshen up. Or even if you have leftover, tape residue from like your IV and that sort of thing, and you just want to take that off, the wipes are really nice, make you feel nice and fresh. And this is something I didn't bring, but I wish I could have, and that's my own pillow. If you're having surgery close to home, or you're driving to your surgery, which is going to be the majority of people, not like me, bring your own pillow. It will make you feel 100 times better. Or definitely just bring an extra pillow. Everybody knows hospital pillows are crappy. A neck pillow is a good one to have, or some kind of like roll pillow where you can prop up your head or your neck. Or even sometimes it's good when you're sleeping. I can't sleep on my back, so I had to prop myself up sort of on my side that didn't hurt as much when I was trying to sleep at night, and so extra pillows are good for that. So that's 5 useful things to bring to the hospital. Immediately post-op, 5 things that I think are useful, and I'm going to just talk about things that are useful for getting in your liquids and your protein, which is really important right after surgery, because some of the other things that I used, I still use today, so I'm going to talk about them in the next part. But it's good to have a variety of protein choices. You never know how your tastes are going to change after surgery. You never know what you're going to feel like. My suggestion is to get sample packs, whether you can get them for free or whether you purchase them. I know I bought a bunch of samples from mybariatricpantry.com, but there's a number of sites where you can buy samples of various types of protein powders and that sort of thing. I would take advantage of that. It's a great way of trying a number of things, and it also keeps things interesting for the first little while. Blender bottles, or some kind of bottle that you're gonna make, or not even bottle, but whatever, cup bottle that you're gonna make your protein shake in. It's really good to have as many as you're gonna have protein shakes in a day. So let's say you're having 3 protein shakes a day. It's great to have 3 bottles if you can, because it means you're not constantly running to like wash them and all that sort of thing. You could just do your dishes once a day like you normally would. So I used blender bottles. I still use them. I don't actually use them to blend protein usually, but I do put my protein shake in there just to keep it. I don't even always have the ball in there, but I like drinking out of them. So that's something else. A strategy for getting your water in. So ahead of time, you need to try and think of how you're going to track your water intake and how you're going to get it in. So it could be something like a shot glass, which LEK talked about. It could be small water bottles, so just the regular bottled water, but the small ones. It could be a large bottle that's marked with different times. I've seen people do that, but having some kind of strategy is really, I think, sorry, I've got to move, really the most important part, because you want to make sure, you're getting in all your water. Water enhancers. You might love drinking plain water now, but so many people have said after surgery they have a hard time with plain water. I know I'm one of those people. I still have a hard time drinking plain water. It just doesn't sit right. I don't know why. And it tastes bad. I feel like I can taste all the metals and all that stuff in the water. So whether that's Mio, Crystal Light, whatever 0 calorie or low calorie water enhancer you want to purchase, it's great to have a variety of those too, just in case you have a problem getting plain water in. And a good tracking method is really important even at the beginning. So whether that's MyFitnessPal, whether it's, a journal and you want to write it in by hand, whatever it is, tracking is really important even at the beginning to make sure you're getting in enough protein and water. And if you have any complications or issues, your surgeon may be asking you for that information. So it's good to know. What 5 useful things do I use now, or do I still use that I bought for post-op? MyFitnessPal, still use it now all the time. I can't live without MyFitnessPal. I'm like tied to it all day long. I track everything. I think that's a really important part of this journey and staying on track. So MyFitnessPal is probably the #1 tool in my toolbox for weight loss surgery. Measuring cups and spoons, again, I measure everything. I actually prefer weighing things. So the other thing is that goes along with this is a food scale. I weigh and measure everything without fail. There's hardly ever a time that I wouldn't weigh or measure unless I'm not at home and I can't. But again, it's really important to be able to track correctly, and to be able to track correctly, you have to know how much things weigh or what the volume is of what you're eating. Small plates, small bowls, small utensils. I know that it sounds weird. It is a mental thing. It is really hard to eat a tiny portion off a big plate. You just feel silly. If you have smaller bowls, plates, utensils, it just feels more normal when you're eating. So I definitely recommend those. And ready to drink protein is something that I use every day. I'm lazy. I don't like having to fool around with making protein shakes. I do add in stuff to my ready to drink shake sometimes. So I might put coffee in there, or I might put, flavoring in it. Sometimes I just drink it straight, but I drink the Premier Protein ready to drink shakes you can get at Costco and Sam's. There are lots of brands out there, but for sure, that's something that I use all the time. And the last question was, Doug was wondering if there was stuff that you might need help with after surgery, or whether you can sort of be on your own. I personally think that after surgery, it really is in your best interest to have someone stay with you, or to stay with someone, just for that extra help, and just so that people can keep an eye on you, because you never know what might happen. Things you definitely might have an issue with is anything where you have to bend or stretch to get something that will pull on your abdomen and cause you pain for sure, or discomfort. Going up and down stairs can be hard. For some people, I don't think it is. For me, it kind of was. Sleeping in bed, you may not be able to. I didn't have a problem. It wasn't the most comfortable thing, but I dealt with it. But I know a lot of people end up sleeping in a recliner or something like that because it's more comfortable for them. So having a strategy to deal with that is good. And driving is something that you may not be able to or feel comfortable doing for a little while. So that's something that you may need help with. If you need to go out and get something, you may need to have someone who can run errands for you or do stuff for you. So that's it. That's the end of my list, Doug. I hope that was helpful to you and anyone else who is pre-op. And my alarm's going off, so I have to go pick up my son. Have a great day. Bye.